this is the session for the graduate programs in civil and environmental engineering. And we have the same housekeeping tips you just heard. You're muted now, but you can always type questions into the chat, and Monica's going to be fielding the questions. You can turn on live closed captioning if you'd like, following the instructions there. If you have any technical problems, you can contact help@usf.edu, or there's a phone number there. And the session's being recorded. And I will turn to Monica, who's our graduate assistant for the graduate program, to introduce herself.
Hello, I'm Monica. I'm environmental engineering program at USF. I started in the last summer. I am working with Dr. Catherine Alfredo, and we are looking at electrocoagulation. I'm also in the environmental engineering for international development, so we're looking on how to apply this technology in developing settings. And yeah, welcome to the session.
Great. And the way this is going to work is we'll have just hopefully a short, I'll try to be short, session, general session, and then Monica has set up 3 different meetings, actually 4 meetings, one for environmental water resources, one for transportation, and one for structures, materials, and geotechnical engineering. And we have students in each one of those meetings, so you can join the student meetings. And I think Monica is going to put all the links in the chat so that you can get to those meetings. And then if you also, I have a meeting just for me. And if you have more questions after my talk, you can always join me at that link. And so next I want to introduce Dr. Gunaratne, our department chair. So Monica's going to see if she can throw me out and throw him in. Okay, there you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Hi, I'm Manjuka Gunaratne. And I'm the professor. I'm the department chair and a professor in the department. My specialization areas are geotechnical and pavement engineering, and I do mostly numerical work based on the computer. And as you can see in one of the pictures, you see me wearing the yellow hard hat, and that's me and with some of my graduate students. We were looking at a drill that was making a drill hole for a precast, for a precast, a cast in situ rather, cast in situ pile that they were setting up, that they were installing at that site. And we also, my pavement work also involved the vehicle, testing vehicles that you see on the top right hand figure, and where we test roads for different properties like the defects and distress types on pavements, including roughness and structural integrity of pavements. So I got my bachelor's degree from the University of Peradeniya, Sri Lanka, and then I got my master's at the University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada, and the PhD at Purdue University, both in geotechnical engineering. And so at this time we are really excited. Our faculty are very excited, and also the administrators are very happy about the fact that we have been, in the recent years, we have been climbing in rankings at the graduate level in both of our programs. As Dr. August might have told you, we have two graduate programs, one in civil engineering and one in environmental engineering. And in both programs, we offer master's and doctoral degrees. And in the civil engineering area, we are last time when the US News and World Report published their rankings, we were number 64 nationally. That includes all the private schools as well. But in terms of public universities, we were 35th ranked only among public schools. Our intention is to get to the top 50 nationally among all the schools, private and public. And the environmental area also had very good news with respect to this ranking. In environmental engineering, we were ranked for 35th in the nation, and among public schools, we were number 20 in the environmental engineering area. So we were in both areas, civil and environmental. We were a clear second in the state of Florida, which was really good news for us, which is also a compliment for all the great work that our professors are doing in all these areas. We have very productive faculty. 95% of our faculty are very productive in terms of bringing research funds, writing papers in archival journals, and going to visit and attending national conferences and international conferences, and also participating in technical work, technical committees at the national level. So I believe that this is a very exciting time for our department, as I said, both in terms of our productivity numbers and also rankings. So you're very welcome to join us and even make our program better by contributing to the research of our faculty members, our professors. Thank you. If you have any questions regarding our department, I'll be happy to help you.
Thank you, Dr. G. So, Monica, you want to put me back into the...
Yes.
Okay. So I also have a few photos on myself. I am the graduate program director. I have a bachelor's degree in environmental engineering from Humboldt State University in California. I'm a long way from home. I also have a master's and PhD from the University of California, Davis. My research is in environmental biotechnology. And I have my email and my office hours there in case you want to make an appointment to see me after this. I have some photos here. This was actually last year, pre-COVID time. So actually, I think it was fall 2019. We were a whole group of our students went together to the University of Florida. And we had a poster session there with students from UF and UCF and USF, and we had a great turnout. We had a special speaker from the Association of Environmental Engineering and Science Professors. This is actually a party that was at my house with my grad students. So a lot of our faculty have tightly knit research groups that do things together, writing retreats, hiking, parties, etc. And just to show you that I'm not all work, here's my husband and me with our bicycle club. You can see the Tampa skyline in the background there. So there's a lot of nice things to do in the Tampa Bay area. So hopefully if you come to USF, you'll enjoy some of those things. So why come to grad school in civil and environmental at USF? As you heard from Dr. G, we have a very highly regarded program. It's an exciting place to study. Tampa Bay area is a great place to live. We have a lot of challenging local environmental and infrastructure problems, especially for me, since I've come to the Tampa Bay area, I've learned a lot about some of the water issues. Florida has incredible infrastructure problems and projects that you can get involved in, and our faculty are very involved with local issues. But we're also, as you heard from Monica, committed to finding solutions to global problems. So we have many faculty working on international problems, and I'll show you a slide later about our engineering for international development programs. You see here the desalination facility, Tampa Bay Water. Up until recently, it was the largest one in the United States. Here's Sunset at Clearwater Beach. We have a lot of different options for you. If you want to do a master's thesis, we have a thesis option master's degree. If you want to do just a coursework only program, we have that option. We have a very large doctoral program. So if you have a master's degree and you're interested in getting a PhD, you can do that. If you just have a bachelor's degree and you want to get a master's along the way and then get a PhD, you can do that as well. We have many full-time students, but we also have students who are working full-time or part-time and going to school part-time. We have some students who just finished the program in a year. They might start out taking 4 classes in the fall, 4 classes in the spring, and 2 classes over the summer, and finish up a master's degree in 1 year if they're doing a coursework only program. We have other master's students who might just take 2 classes a year and finish the program in 5 years. So lots of flexibility, especially with regard to master's programs. And we have programs in environmental, water resources, transportation, geotechnical, structures, and materials engineering. So a lot of different subdisciplines in our department. Just have a few slides here. We have very, very highly regarded Center for Urban Transportation Research. Those of you who are interested in transportation, really encourage you to go to the student session. We have students who will be presenting their research, very short presentation. I think I told them 3 minutes on some of these topics like connected automated traffic analysis, pavement engineering, highway safety, travel behavior. We have Dr. Yu Zhang, for example, who does work on air traffic management. We have a lot of, as Dr. G said, a lot of interdisciplinary collaboration. So you see things like energy and the environment, being in the transportation area. So we have collaboration between our transportation, our geotech, bridges, for example, our structures and our materials group with the transportation group. So a lot of collaboration among our faculty as well. Structures and materials engineering, we have our faculty, a lot of work in structural mechanics, computer modeling of structures and dynamic performance of structures. You can tell I'm an environmental engineer when I start talking about structures, but I'm sure if you go to the session on structures, you'll learn more. Really fantastic faculty member, Dr. Chris Alexander, working on corrosion performance of material. He has a really busy lab working on issues of corrosion. We have Dr. Abla Zayed, for example, who works on concrete performance, novel concrete materials, looking at nanoparticles and waste materials that can be used to improve the concrete material sustainability and performance. So really fantastic program in structural and materials engineering. We also have our environmental engineering program. This is actually on the left-hand side. These are two of my students, Lily and Shia. We're actually in the recently built a pilot constructed wetland system that you can see there at a landfill in the Hillsborough County. And we are actually treating landfill leachate in those pilot constructed wetlands, looking at novel materials for the wetland systems. And we have research going on the wastewater field and the drinking water field. As Monica said, she's working on electrocoagulation as a novel drinking water treatment process. We also have a lot of collaboration with local utilities, for example, Hillsborough County, the city of Tampa. My students this semester are working with the city of St. Petersburg. And you can see here also a lot of outreach activities, not only looking at our own research, but also trying to grow the pipeline and contributing to STEM education to bring in, get students in the local community interested in water and sanitation and health issues, and get them excited about engineering. And perhaps we see them in the future in our classes and in our programs. And in the water resources engineering area, we have, for example, Dr. Tejada Martinez does work on computational fluid dynamics. He's been looking, for example, at turbulence on the surface of oceans and how that affects carbon dioxide transfer and greenhouse gases in ocean water. So some of that work going on. We also have Dr. Mark Ross doing work, for example, on some of the old phosphate mines in the region, looking at ways of mitigating some of the contamination from those phosphate mines and rehabilitating some of those regions. We have Dr. Nachabe, who I work with a lot. He's doing work on novel stormwater technologies, also looking at infiltration of groundwater into sewer systems, also doing work looking at surface water, groundwater interactions and what's going on in the Vado zone. So we also have a very exciting program. Oh, and I didn't even mention Dr. Arias, who's really an expert in wetland systems, and he's done work in the Amazon and also in Cambodia, as well as in the Tampa Bay area. Just had a student graduate a couple of days ago, or who defended her dissertation last week, who was looking at plastics pollution in the Hillsborough River. So everywhere from South America to Southeast Asia to our own local Tampa Bay area, looking at various ecological systems. As Monica mentioned, we have the Engineering for International Development program. So we have this for both master's and PhD students. This program allows you to take some coursework in applied anthropology, global public health, and sustainable development engineering. These are fully integrated into your program. So it's not extra courses, but you'll use these as electives within the graduate program. And then we, our Engineering for International Development students do an extended international engineering field experience. We've had many students in Peace Corps. For example, I had a student in Uganda. I've also had students in Mexico and Madagascar, doing water, sanitation, hygiene. We've had students looking at novel materials, We had a student just returned from Peace Corps who was working on structural engineering issues. So, lots of different opportunities there. It doesn't have to be Peace Corps. It can also be an NGO or a non-government organization, but an extended field experience that typically will also form a part of your thesis or dissertation. And we also have opportunities for return Peace Corps volunteers. For example, one of my graduate students is a Coverdell Fellow. So she was in the Peace Corps in Sierra Leone, and now she's back doing a master's degree with us. And she has a fellowship from the Peace Corps to help her pursue her graduate studies. And she's doing a master's thesis, that's related to international development. In her case, because she already did the international experience, she doesn't have to do that extended international field experience. So in terms of financing your graduate education, we have teaching assistantships. So many of our students, especially our doctoral students, will assist with teaching an undergraduate class. We also have research assistantships. So if, for example, if I write a proposal and I get a grant from a organization, an agency, let's say the EPA or the National Science Foundation or the state of Florida, I would then hire students to work on that project. And so, sorry about the dog barking in the background. I hope that doesn't bother you. That would be a research assistantship. Your TAs and RAs come with a stipend, a tuition waiver, and health insurance as well. We also have several different fellowship and scholarship programs. I've listed a few here. These are all linked to our website. So we have the Strong Coast program, which is funded by NSF for doctoral students with interest in the food, water, energy systems and coastal communities. We have another program funded by the Department of Education, the GAN program, Graduate Assistantships in Areas of National Need. And that's also for doctoral students with interest in resilient transportation and water critical infrastructures. We actually do have some students in structural engineering funded there as well. And then we also have for master's students, NSF also, we were successful in getting an STEM scholarship program. This is a joint program with the School of Geosciences, as well as the Department of Integrative Biology. And this is for students in environmental or water resources engineering who are interested in managing the nitrogen cycle. And our department website has links to all of these fellowship programs, as well as College of Engineering fellowships and different fellowships from professional organizations. I know some of you are still undergraduates, so I threw this one in. We do have a research experience for undergraduates program this summer. So if you'd like more information about that, we will be having a 9-week program this summer where students will be working on in our labs, as well as in geosciences and integrative biology on urban water sustainability projects. So if you're interested in that, let me know, or you can contact Dr. Van Benen for more information. And that's all I have. I realize I'm almost out of time, so I'll take maybe a couple of questions right now, And then you can go off to the individual sessions, and one of those sessions will be a Teams meeting with me, not this Teams live format, but a regular Teams meeting so that we can discuss one-on-one. Monica, are there any questions?
Nope, no questions on the Q&A.
You want to type, if anyone has any questions, please type them into the Q&A. Is the REU available for graduating seniors? No, so the REU program is only for students. You have to be a student to be in the research experience for undergraduates program. So it would only be available if you were continuing in the fall. If you're graduating in December, that would be okay. Any other questions? Where are the links for the separate session? So Monica, are you going to put the links into the chat?
Yes, I'm about to put them. All right.
Okay, so this is environmental and water resources, structural materials, transportation, and with Dr. Ergus. So I guess I can just follow the one that's with Dr. Ergus, right, Monica?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Go to that one. I'll be in transportation, and then everyone can go to their concentration of interest.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll see you there then. Well, I guess I can stop sharing my slides. There we go. We're learning.
All right. I'll talk to you guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right, I can stop sharing. Might be a good idea to send myself my video. So just to
I
clarify.
think I have to leave this one to
okay.
go to the other one.
Yeah, so all the sessions are simultaneous. So, because I know some people were confused about that earlier. So they, you can just go to one of your interest because they're all happening right now. If you have any questions. Okay, Dr. Ergus, I will see you in the other.
Bye.